I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We're being visited by Digi-Vralie. Hi!
Hello, how's it going?
It's going okay. I'll move the microphone down for you a little bit. Digi-Vralie is not the tallest guest we've had, so I'm going to make sure move that down a little bit. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Yeah, my name is Digi-Vralie, RGB Android VTuber, an aspiring DJ and artist. And I'm looking forward to starting to create music here soon on a stream.
Excellent. What type of music are you going to do? Instrumental, vocal, what type?
I want to do probably both, but as far as the genre goes, about EDM, yeah. EDM is what I'm hoping to create to possibly sound like my music Oshis, if you will, Daft Punk.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's amazing to me how folks are, because I have, like everybody else, sometimes I'll wake up from a sleep and have a little riff in my head, but I can't remember it in an hour. And I certainly don't know how to write it down or anything. So I'm jealous of folks who are able to do that sort of thing. Have you always been a music composer type?
Well, I mean, back then I would play around with it was a 3DS game called Rhythmic, and you basically just picked up all these samples and sounds and made them into a song. It was really cool, but I didn't really pick it up until I first found Daft Punk and was like, dang, I kind of want to make music like that too. So it's not always, but it's been like a huge part of my activity, just listening to music, stuff like that. And then I just really started getting into it once I found them.
Mm-hmm. So would you rather use sampled beats or notes or use your own keyboard? It depends.
Maybe a little of both. I feel like it's cool to have some variety because some people make some really cool samples. And some of the sounds I've heard, I'm like, dang, how did you come up with that? I'd probably love to make my own too. I just like being creative like that. So I'd probably say both. A little bit of both.
So and I can see you come up with one recording, and then you'll have the what we used to have in the old disco days, the 12-inch, 12-minute mix, the super fast disco mix. Just keep going back and keep adding to it, like every artist. Not quite done.
Yeah.
Never
complete.
So when you are doing something like this and you're putting something together, are you ever completely satisfied with it, or do you need to keep going?
There's always that one thing that you're like, maybe I could add more tweaks, maybe I could add more things. But I realize the longer you sit and stare at it, or I guess in that case, listen to it, the more you're just going to want to add. And on top of that, I don't know, I feel like there needs to be a good end point. So it's like, okay, this sounds really good. If it's something that you can add that you think would sound better, but not be too much, then yeah, go for it. But you don't want to make it too long, just too much.
Yeah, you don't want it
sort of a good stopping point.
You don't want it to wear out its welcome, and after a while, and you also, I imagine you also don't want it to get too cluttered either. I mean, you can overdo stuff you put in there, and it just sounds like a train wreck.
Yeah, never want to overload the senses. Oh, this is too much.
So, were you listening to any other mixologists or DJs other than Daft Punk?
Yeah, actually. So there's a Moy Shop. They're not too new, but they're not that old either. Moy Shop. There's Ghost Data. Back When. And they all kind of have a similar beat. I noticed I really like electronic sounding music.
Yeah.
And it's because of that I actually modeled my VTuber to look the way it does, to sound the way it does, and just presenting her as a futuristic robot DJ. But I'm also a really big fan of robots, so it's anything that sounds technologic, robotic, stuff like that, then I'm all for it.
Have you heard Kraftwerk?
Craftwork?
Yes, they're kind of the
Is that a?
yeah, that's that one of the original robotic technological bands.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
Ooh, I'm gonna have
here,
to look it up.
yeah, Kraftwerk. They have they were one of the originals. Um, they had some pretty amazing stuff. You can remember what they were working with at the time is late 70s, early 80s type equipment to put their stuff together.
Oh shoot.
Yeah,
Okay, so like beginning of the futuristic music.
absolutely, absolutely. There's one of their in fact one of the songs was "We Are the Robots."
Oh wow.
So and it's very
Okay.
much use of industrial. That's what I'm kind of trying to bring up. Industrial type of electronic music early on, but
Mm.
they had a few hits. Not so much in the U.S., but mostly in England and Europe. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty cool. I might have
All
to check them out.
all that stuff is really fascinating to me. I enjoy watching the folks on the internet who do the mashups.
Mhm.
Take two songs and mix them together, or maybe it's more than two songs. And to me, I'm like, how in the world do people that creative where they can see something like that and mix it together in their head um, to come up with this stuff?
I know, right?
It's kind of a macro version of sampling. You take basically two songs, just smash them together, um, and have it work out. But uh, you,
Yeah.
so you've been a music listener anyway, since you were very young.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, when did you get a chance to really start noodling around with actual music? And when you had your first um, piece produced, how did you feel?
So I actually I just started this year, if I'm being honest,
Hmm.
because last year I was finishing up general ed. So this year I actually am going into like the career path that I want to do, which is audio technology and music composition and all that.
Mm,
So um as far as like a full song goes, that's actually still in the works. I've
mm,
just kind of been messing with samples and making little, how do I say it, like tiny songs,
yeah,
little
yeah.
sounds, little songs,
Little,
and just seeing what sounds good before I actually make like a full album, which is like my dream. I want to make my own album. I want to make like the
yeah,
art for the album,
yeah.
and I'm just seeing what like really feels right,
Mm.
if you know what I mean.
This is going to be high energy stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I would think like,
Yeah, no, yeah, no.
yeah. It just depends. I think I want to do like multiple kinds.
Mm,
So high energy and also like chill as
yeah,
well, because I catch myself listening to chill electron like Scandroid.
yes.
They're pretty chill to me, but they're also very like, they're very like technological
Hmm.
as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just a fan of both. So I would say both. I'd
Mm.
probably be doing both.
So with that, will you be sampling um, voices to put in as well, or will the voices be live recorded, or both?
Probably probably sampling starting out, because I feel like live recording, I don't have like any idea of like which way to go with that,
Mm,
like other than using my own, of course.
hmm.
But if I do have people, I guess, become the voice of that song, I would want to compensate them in some way.
Yeah.
Um so as it is now, like starting out, it's probably going to be either me or like like a sample, like you said.
Yeah.
Um Anything but like another person until I can figure out like how I want to go about that.
Mm. You've got a smorgasbord in front of you to use where you want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, is with all of those choices, is it tough to? Do you look at it as tough to make a decision, or do you look at it as a field of riches?
Um well, actually, could you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I worded it very badly, but the when you look at all of the everything you're going to be able to use ahead of you to compose and put together
Mhm.
your projects, do you look at it as tough to choose from, or a field of riches to choose from?
Oh, definitely a field of riches. Like, oh man, I don't want to just stick to EDM.
Mhm.
I really like hip hop. I really like jazz.
Mm,
And they're like not really in the same ballpark, if I'm being honest.
yeah,
And I just really like different beats. Like, I'm a big fan of beats. If it has a good beat, if the lyrics are garbage, I'll still listen to it.
yeah,
But if it has a terrible beat, then yeah, no, it doesn't matter how good the lyrics are. So I love a good beat.
yeah,
Um, so like my plan was to make just different kinds of genres of music because that's what I enjoy. I didn't want to stick to like just EDM because I know I said I modeled my character after basically Daft Punk and
mhm,
is very futuristic stuff like that. But
yeah,
I also want to make the music that I've always liked.
right,
And then I was like, you know what? Being an artist, maybe I'll model a different model that
yeah,
looks like it could represent like hip hop music or jazz music,
yeah, yeah.
stuff like that.
I know there were some Japanese DJs that really, really heavily used jazz. Um,
Mm.
Toa Tai, Towatei, I believe it is. He has some really good stuff um, with
Mhm.
using jazz samples. Um,
Oh.
Another band, I don't know if they're still around or not, from Europe, Coop, Koop. Um, they
Mhm.
put together some really wild things using not just samples and electronics, but also a live stand-up bass. That was
Oh, fancy.
yeah, it really turned out good. I mean, I'm a big fan of it. Drives my wife crazy when I play it, but I still play it. So there, take that,
Mhm.
wife. um, but yeah, there's so many routes you can go with this, and now with the VTubing aspect of things, and all the different channels, you have a chance to show that off to everybody else. Has that ever been something you were scared of at first or intimidated by showing somebody else what you're doing?
Oh no, definitely not. Like I decided to stream because I was like, I think I have a talent in some other places, like art, and
Mm,
then pretty soon sharing my music because I've been doing little projects off stream just to build confidence.
yeah.
But once I start actually being confident in what I'm creating, I was planning to do music streams and then live VR. Um, because right now I do art. I showcase like everything that I create. I do editing, things like that. And honestly, I don't think I'm not afraid at all to show people because one, I feel like I could teach them something that a lot of people that come in, they're like, oh, I want to get back into drawing. You've
Mm,
inspired me to draw. How do you start? And then I kind of show them the process from like beginning to end, like no matter what I'm doing. Cause I want them to know like you start somewhere. It's not always easy, even for me. I've even went as far as showing them some old stuff that I've had, like some old drawings,
yeah.
some old edits where I'm like just barely starting out. And
Yeah.
while some people might be like, oh, I'm embarrassed to do that, it's more like it shows how far you've come from,
Yeah.
like how you started to like what you're doing now.
Yeah.
And to me, I see it as an inspiration, like it inspires people.
Mm,
And the only reason I say that is because people have told me, like, oh, after seeing like your old drawings or after seeing you like start on the drawing from start to finish, it's inspired me to do it. And I'm like, the longer you do it, the better you get, the more consistent, the more like skills you'll learn, stuff like that. So,
yeah.
once I actually start showcasing like my music stuff, then I'll present like all the baby songs and like the pre-samples that I made before. So I don't think it's scary.
Well, that's wonderful because you're making it accessible that way. You're while
Mhm.
you're coming from an experienced and a standpoint where you've done it for a while and you're confident in what you're doing, by bringing it back down to where they were or they are now, where you used to be. That does make it very
Mhm.
relatable for them, and then that'll kind of give them the itch to jump in the pool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. And some folks, a lot of folks don't think that way. They look straight ahead at what they can do, but here you're willing to give back immediately, which is pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's really great. And it not, I mean, and not only in a, great for to bring the audience in, but to give back more than what
Mm.
they're expecting is really a great thing for you to. I mean, and you came up with it on your own, which is even better. That says a lot about inside you too. Um, the art part. You've been doing art as long as you've been wanting to do music, or when did you get started with that?
Oh, I actually started art like way before anything. It was actually when I was 2. Like
Hmm.
I started drawing on paper, and that's always been my favorite hobby. That's always been my favorite pastime. And like I've looked at drawings that I've made in like middle school, and then I'll compare them to now because obviously I do more digital now because I have a tablet. It's more cleaner. It's definitely easier, and
The
there's
undo
more
button
opportunities to be creative.
and the undo button
Sorry,
is
go ahead.
there, right? The undo button is there. You just kind of hit that button
Yeah, exactly. And I don't have to worry about erase lines and
right.
stuff like that.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, definitely for a while.
yeah. So you're self-taught?
I am, yeah.
Wow.
Self-taught, but also I've picked up like certain things from like animes, video games that I've watched, like techniques and also styles. Like there's an anime that I absolutely love. It's called Jormungand. And I noticed I adopted the style of like the way the faces look and the way the eyes look. Like
Mm,
I really like drawing big lashes. They have huge lashes. They got like more angular faces than softer.
right.
And it's just things that I picked up just from seeing that I really liked. And I recommend that to people learning how to draw is like try to like figure out what art style you like to draw and then pick up little pieces of different art styles from other things, like other shows you enjoy. You might like the way they draw noses, other shows you might like the way they draw eyes, stuff like that. And then it makes it into your own art style, which I've come to finally like perfect, I guess for myself,
Yeah.
is my own art style.
That's cool. And do you think that if you had gone to or planned to go to some sort of art academy or art classes, that they would actually try to strip of your individuality and try to put you in a, you have to do it this way, or are you doing things just different enough to make the instructors mad?
I feel like it depends. Like, there's definitely some people out there that are like, oh, they don't like certain art styles. And I
Mm,
get it. Like, everybody has their own preferences, but it is subjective. Like, this is good for me.
mm,
And there's no, like, really right or wrong way to do art. Like, it's a creative aspect, it's a creative outlet that people use for anything, you
mm,
know? So for someone to say like, "Oh, it's the wrong way," there's really no wrong way. Like if they tried to strip my, I guess my style and try to change it
mm,
to fit their own, then it's not mine anymore. So it's not something personal anymore. It's more like, oh, I'm doing it because someone told me that it's their style that they want me to produce.
mm.
So
And that's
I wouldn't let them do that, one. And two, I feel like I would have that conversation with them. Like, there's no way. There's no way, like, you think that this is the way to get people to learn or even, like, better their style themselves. Because I get bettering it. Like, I get when you want to put out pointers and help and stuff like that. But
yeah,
that's to make your own style look better and more you and not make it theirs.
yeah. That's the thing I worry about when I hear about some artists who are already artists and then go to learn artistry. Like you're already an artist.
Mhm.
Maybe pick up on some of the basics a little bit, but don't let them do the old Play-Doh thing where everybody comes out a certain
Yeah.
star. That's not the way it should work. But I guess,
Yeah.
but if you're talking to somebody like myself who is really terrible with art, and that's just 60 years of fact, unfortunately. But
Aw.
but for me, learning from scratch would be the only way to go because I seriously have trouble with stick figures. So, you know, literally learning the very basics would be more beneficial to me than starting off trying to write, Cowboy Bebop. It's it's
Right.
it's 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 not going to look good, and I'll probably get arrested. Um, that's how bad it'll end up. Uh, so look with all of this in what you're doing, your talents coming in. When you sit down with a game or a visual novel or something on the computer, is your enjoyment affected by the art style or the music style?
Yeah, I would say so. Like, there's been some games where I'm like, dang, the story is garbage, but the music is fire. Like, I'll straight
Mhm.
up pull up their OSTs and blast it. Like, for an example, I'm so sorry if anyone likes Tron Ares, but Tron Ares, the movie, I did not care for. It was not a great movie, but the music was amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I catch myself like putting it on when I'm doing art streams or like, just chilling, stuff like that. And then with styles, like art styles of like certain games, it entices you to come in at first because when you see a game, like you're looking at it first
Mhm.
because it's being recommended. And the first thing you see is the visuals, like the art
Right.
style. If it looks appealing, great. Like I'll go ahead and play it. But on top of having like a great soundtrack, then that's even better. Perfect game.
Yeah.
Now one is missing, like the visuals aren't as good, but the music and the story is great. I'll still play it.
Mm.
Because it's just not my preference, but that's their style that they decide to go with, and vice versa.
Yeah. Well, but there are some games where the art isn't spectacular or super realistic, but it goes with the gameplay. Like
Yeah.
I use this all the time. Undertale. Undertale is made like a 2000 or a 1981 computer graphics,
Mhm.
but it goes with the entire setup. It wouldn't look right if it was done like Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
It would be kind of weird looking, actually, and kind of off-putting.
Yeah. Like I would say that there's a lot of mainstream art styles nowadays that when you see something different, even if it's not something you'd expect, it's exciting and it's interesting because it's like, oh, this is not going the way of the mainstream whatever like music / art style that they've been using. So like I see a lot of like Genshin style, like ZZZ, and while they might be great games, it's kind of the same style that a lot of games have been using lately.
Yeah.
So if I see something that's like retro, like 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 low poly cute, like blocky,
Right.
but it's a good block. It's not like actual PS1, but even if it was, it's something different,
Right.
and it's also nostalgic. So it's like I would be more enticed to play something like that.
Yeah.
That had like way less effort to create than like, I don't know, something like Genshin where I keep seeing different clones everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm not ragging on them. It's just like, difference, like some variety is nice.
Yeah, it is. And again, I think a lot of that goes to whether the game is independently made or corporate made. Because corporate, for better or for worse, likes to shoehorn their things past, various committees and shareholders and and things. And someone doing it independently basically only has a couple people to answer for, and it's usually just them.
Yeah.
And they don't have this. they're not restricted by anything. Would
Mhm.
for you, and I'm asking about both the artwork and the music work. If someone were to give you a set of parameters to work in, would you be comfortable with that, or would you rather be completely unfettered with it?
Like I could work in both settings, but obviously I would prefer having like no parameters, like my own freedom,
Mhm.
because with that you can do quite literally anything. You could put in anything. You could make it whatever you want. When you're confined to a certain amount of like, I guess like parameters they offer, or they just give you and tell you to make do with what you have.
Mhm.
There's only so much you can do, and it doesn't feel like, how do I say it? Like it doesn't feel as special, and it also doesn't feel as enjoyable
Mhm.
because you're just making something that someone already had their own idea for. See,
Right.
I feel like I'm more of a creative individual where I really like just having the sky as the limit,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know, and it's I don't know. It's nicer that way because you could come up with something that someone might not even have thought about ever, and it was all you.
oh yeah, absolutely. And you get the chance if somebody is like commissioning you for something and says, I trust your vision, I trust your skills, go for it. Maybe says something like,
Mhm,
I want a musical piece that evokes a subway, being on a subway at
mhm,
night, at midnight, or something like that. So
mhm.
now you get to work in your mind as to how that vision you get to adopt that to. It's a little bit of a structure, but it's a difference than a structure is different than a container. Um,
Mhm.
would that be something that you would be okay with?
Oh yeah, like I like having like a baseline of like, oh, okay, this is how I want it to sound. Because like, if someone's like, just make me a song, okay, well, what kind would you like? Like, I have no direction. Like, I would appreciate a little bit of direction. That's
Make
totally fine.
I just want a song. I don't care what type. Just make it now, please.
I'm like, okay, if they really don't care, I'll make whatever. But like, there's got to be some direction that you'd want me to go. Because like, if someone does want like a subway song, like a song you're listening to a subway, it's at 12 a.m. Me personally, I would put myself in that situation. Like, I'm assuming I'd be like a little tired. It's going to be darker.
Mhm.
There's not going to be that many people. I would want maybe like a soothing, kind of
Mhm.
lo-fi sounding song.
Yeah.
Just a chill beat, while I'm going home or something.
Maybe a
So
little
that'd be like the direction that I'd like from
maybe a
people.
little
Give
bit
me something.
little bit creepy being there.
Yeah, a little bit eerie,
Yeah.
I'd say. Like, but not too creepy where I feel like I'm gonna get murdered on there.
Just do something really chill and then suddenly jump scare. Just, yeah.
Right? Just a random beat out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
You have musical jump scares as well as you can in horror games. That's easy to
Oh
do.
yeah, those are terrifying.
Yeah. So when you're putting together something, is it 3/4 and 4/4 time, or do you make up your own beats, or do you stick with the basics?
I've kind of been messing around with different kinds.
Mm,
I don't have like a set one that I really like yet.
mm,
Because like I said, I just recently started, so I'm just experimenting at this point. The basics are fine, but sometimes you want more, sometimes you want less. Like it just depends. And it also depends on like the mood, if I'm being honest. Like what mood am I feeling in? What do I want to make? What do I want to hear like at this moment?
yeah.
So it really just depends.
Yeah. I was a coworker with a fellow who was a quite a talented musician, very classically trained
Mhm.
though, and I played for him a song uh, from the '80s by a group called the Stranglers, which is called Golden Brown. Um,
Mhm.
it is 3/4 3/4 4/4 3/4 3/4 4/4, and it about blew his mind.
Mm.
he's trying to keep up with it, and that his little hardwired brain couldn't change the tones as it went along. That's wrong. That doesn't work. Um,
Right.
yeah, so would you like to come up with something that kind of expands people's envelopes a little bit?
Oh yeah, that's what makes you unique and and memorable. If
Yeah.
I'm being honest, like if you make something that someone's not used to hearing, but it just sounds good for whatever reason, like this works, but I never heard it before,
Mm.
then I feel like that's so impactful because you will be remembered for that.
Hmm.
You know, you're doing something unique that no one else has even thought of or attempted at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just a great way to be remembered by,
Yeah.
and then be interested. Like people get interested because it's like this is something I've never even thought of, something I never even heard because no one's even attempted or wanted to.
Yeah.
And I like this person, like they're going above and beyond, possibly messing with something that people might not like, but they're willing to take that risk in hopes to making something new and unheard of.
They're dabbling in the dark arts of music.
Yeah, basically.
The forbidden the forbidden clefs.
Forbidden knowledge.
Yes. You are not allowed to go into Miles Davis territory. Stay away from Frank Zappa at all costs.
But that one person that dips their toes in and they actually like it,
Yeah.
like watch out for them that make it work.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that creativity, I'm kind of jealous that you get to do this now with the tools that are available.
Mhm.
Because when I started radio, Ronald Reagan was still the president, and
Oh wow.
yeah, and we didn't have digital anything.
Right.
If you were going to record, it was going to be on audio tape, and then you had to deal with editing that with actual razors, um, and losing generations and that such a thing. People don't even know what that is
Mhm.
now. But if you tape something from analog to analog, it automatically got worse.
Right.
That is, people don't really know this, but that's why you see so many remastered old albums. Because
Mm.
if they put the original masters on CDs, and they found this in the early days of CDs, you heard every edit.
Right.
Click, buzz, click, snap, click, and people are like, we don't like that. So they remastered it digitally and then brought it out that way.
Yeah.
So you have all of the tools there available, and more to come. Um, this is you're set up now, really, for what you want to do. I mean, I'm not saying that it's an easy road. I'm saying that you've got the materials there in the potential with your talent to really do some big things.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And also I agree, like if I were to tell someone who wanted to get into it, who they're probably older, they never even believed that they could or stuff like that. They never had the chance. Like, why not start now? There is so many tools available. There's so many new things that were unheard of back then. And it's like when they're available now, just try it. Wouldn't you want to experience it at least once in your life? And I'm like, that's why I like learning and finding new skills, because it's like, how many can I learn and how many tools are out there that can help me figure this out
Mhm.
and build my skill set that weren't available even when I was, younger.
Yeah.
And people still made it work. Like, what can I find? What can I accomplish? And what can I make that's like personal and that's new?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not necessarily inventing something.
Yeah.
It's using something in a way that's never been used before, that you know of.
Yeah.
And creating that new sound or new beat or new type of
Mhm.
music. You mix bossa nova with country or something. I don't know. Come up with something.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody did that probably Probably that damn Conway Twitty always doing that stuff. But Conway, stay away from our women. The sorry, that's a very old joke from an old man.
No, you're good.
I mean, even on my phone, there's a program that has already sampled things like violins, and you can put together little snippets to back and forth, and come up with fascinating little tunes. They're not going to be on the dance floor anytime soon, but it'll take a couple hours out of your day if you're interested in that sort of thing. The opportunity to be creative is now more accessible to people than ever before, as far as music goes, for sure.
Right.
Yeah. And are there any instruments outside of the computer keyboard and samples that you play on your own?
I used to actually play electric and acoustic guitar.
Whoa.
But things happened in life to where I didn't have time for it anymore, and I ended up selling them.
Oh.
But I was thinking about getting back into it because it was so fun, like making the riffs, and learning the chords was hard. But once I got the hang of it, and once you get like the finger muscle memory, it's kind of easy, But I just love the sound of electric guitar. I just love the way it sounds, and I do miss it. And I was thinking of getting back into it, especially because of like my whole music career coming up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But that'd be probably like later on after I'm like.
Yeah, you can just be somewhere noodling around and come up with something that like, oh hey, and try to.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
And unfortunately, I am cross-handed. Where I do some things left-handed and some things right-handed. I wouldn't know.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't know which side to play with. And one of my hands is pretty arthritis up right now anyway, so I probably couldn't do anything with it at this point.
I'm sorry.
What I really wanted to do was the slide guitar.
Oh, okay.
I just think that's a very interesting instrument, and I think that I could do that with one hand with the slide, especially the one that doesn't move like it used to, and I'd have to play with the left hand. But and the same thing with a keyboard. I would probably end up on a piano keyboard with my hands switched over in an X, playing it that way.
Yeah.
That's wrong. So yes, I'm really jealous of you. So I'm going to go.
I think anyone could like do anything, if I'm being honest. Like the human mind is just a vast enigma, and it's like it can learn pretty much anything as long as there's effort put in. And I feel like it doesn't matter like how old or how young someone is, like you can always learn something. And even if it's something that you feel like, oh, it's past your time, there's always that time, that chance for everyone to like dabble in it,
Oh yeah, just have fun with it. You don't have to be this. You don't have to be the best at it. Just have fun with it, where you're enjoying yourself and learning.
Yeah, it's for fun.
That's kind of, we can kind of bring that over to VTubing too. Not everybody is going to have 1 million followers,
right?
But you can have a lot of fun with it, and you can if you get enough people, maybe you can get a little gas money with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be even harder in the future with more people doing it to make any livable money off of it. But I think there's going to be a lot more people enjoying it. Have you gotten more, less, or about as much enjoyment as you thought you would out of VTubing?
Oh, way more. Like, I actually told this story a little bit ago on my channel, but I was not expecting it to be so welcoming as far as a nice community goes, as far as meeting other streamers. Like, I had told people that when I started, I didn't know that you could make friends early on. I thought it was like something that happened when you were bigger, like a big dog, like at least 10,000. And I did a lot of homework and a lot of like looking into VTubing before I started, because this was the first time I ever did anything related to like performance media and like it's streaming wise.
Right.
I've never done anything stream related like before 2023.
Oh wow.
And I recently found out about VTubers in 2023. And they were just so fascinating that I looked into it and was like, you know what? Why not try this streaming thing? It sounds fun. And you know, if I'm smart with it, I could even mix in my career of music into my VTubing. So it would feel like I'm not even working and do work while stream. It's been very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Super fun too.
There's so many people who have found that no matter where they're at in life, is that you've not only is it a social outlet, but it's a great way to keep your hobby going, great way to keep your interest in something going. Heck, would you be open to, if somebody, heard your stuff and was another VTuber, to working with somebody in music?
Oh yeah, I already have some people that I'm like eyeing already.
Yeah, yeah.
They're already DJs, already music producers, and I'm like, you know what? When I start getting more creative, when I start making some actual stuff and being more confident in my stuff, I'm pulling you for a collab.
So I have to ask this, because mixers and dial spinners are close to my heart, because in radio we had the folks who could work the boards. They're the ones that made us sound decent. And we wouldn't have been able to do anything without them back then. What if I were to present you with the board that I worked with as a 19-year-old, a big old giant Harris board with 18 inputs and sliders and all sorts of buttons and dials and spinny things, and said, "Here, go have fun," would you?
Oh yeah, we can make something work. You can make something out of anything, honestly.
I can't tell you so many times I worked overnights, and I would be using that board to the fullest extent.
You knew it back and forth. Inside and out.
It had 8 channels, so you could mix a lot of stuff. I'd have all 3 reel machines going and a cassette player I put together some real garbage. but I had fun with it. That's the biggest thing. It's when you realize what you can do with sound and what it sounds like put together. When you put together your first little bit, we'll call it a incidental. I'll call it that. Short bit, and you heard it back. Were you satisfied, surprised, happy? What?
Probably happy, because I'm like, wow, I actually made something. It was created. But obviously there's way more room for improvement. Definitely not something that I had too much experience in the past. But it's like with everything else. The more you do it, the more consistent you are, the better you're gonna get. Eventually, it's gonna sound amazing to you.
Yeah. That's I'm smiling just hearing you say that, because that that really is the crux of it, isn't it? It's the point where you are getting a chance to, for lack of a better term, show off a little bit, show people what you can do, but you're also showing yourself what you can do. And once you get that little bit of pride going, that kind of puts a little wind beneath your wings to do more and press on. You seem to be that type of person that can self-encourage yourself. That's not easy. That's not easy to do, and a lot of people can't do that. When you see other people that aren't able to do that, does that frustrate you?
It makes me sad, because I'm like, you have so much potential that you don't even realize is there. And there's people that are like, okay, you either have it or you don't. And even if you don't have it, there's people that have the love for it and not the skill. And I feel like that's the most important thing. If you have the love for it, I say do it. I say do it because you never know. You might pick up the skill that you've been lacking. You might learn things that you needed to learn, and it just further deepens your love for it. And it's a confidence thing. Like, have confidence. Have confidence can be good. And if you don't think it's good, like, there's so many tools, like you said, out there to help you get better.
Yeah.
So many people out there that give you advice. You know, there's so many things that can help you get better at what you want to do.
Yeah. You know, I don't think I've said this before, but when I was in junior high school, I tried out for the basketball team. The problem was I couldn't do anything basketball wise. I just wasn't particularly good or coordinated, or I make any baskets or anything like that. Now, I tried my heart out to do it, but just because I didn't make the team, it didn't mean I stopped playing basketball. I played and played and played and played because I loved playing it. You know, I wasn't going to, you know, be playing in a uniform, but I was going to be playing it and still enjoying it.
Yeah.
And
that's great.
And don't let lack of recognition by others hinder your joy in doing what you want to do.
Exactly. That's great to hear for you, by the way.
Yeah. It was great to hear for the people that were actually on the basketball team too.
Yeah. See, those people are very inspiring because, you know, like, some people can't, you know, we'll use that as an example. Some people can't make the team no matter how hard they try, but the love that they have for it is so cool to see. Like, it's like determination. You don't give up. You love the game. You'll still play it despite not being on the team.
Yeah.
And it's like, some people who are even on the team don't have the same amount of like passion for it.
Yeah. And that can be frustrating. The people who can't will never understand why people who can won't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. If I see a guy who's 6'8" and can dunk a basketball, I don't know why he's not dunking the basketball every single time he gets the ball.
Right. And it could just be a confidence thing too.
Yeah.
Maybe he just doesn't think he can. It's like, well, but you're tall, but
in
his mind, he can't for some reason.
Yeah. And you know, it's just, but I'm not gonna, because I can't put myself in their shoes. For one thing, I'm a good foot shorter than that. I ain't getting anywhere near that anytime soon.
Yeah.
But you know, it's good to see that you are Is thriving a good word for you? What you're doing?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, and still enjoying yourself and continuing to want to learn and expand and grow, show people what not only just you can do, but what they can do too. Bringing them along with you on this ride it says a great deal about you, and I hope absolute continued success for you. And I don't think you need my help. I think you're going to be doing just fine on your own with it.
You know, I really appreciate that. And honestly, everyone's support does help a lot because it's like there's people supporting you and they're cheering you on. They want to see you do better. They want to see what you can create. And that gives me like so much hope and so much determination to actually impress them.
Yeah.
And it's not even stressful like a stress that I'm worried about not impressing people. It's more like I want them to see the best version of me that they've been supporting, and I want to give them what I promised.
Well, folks, we're going to have all the links for Digi-Vralie in the description for this video. Thank you so much for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure talking with you. Thanks for letting us in a little bit and see what's going on inside that little speaker of yours.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And folks, check out what Digi-Vralie's got going on. Really, there's a lot you're going to be able to learn and so much you're going to be able to enjoy. And I have enjoyed every minute of talking with you. Hopefully we can do it again soon.
Oh, yeah, I would love to. I appreciate it. And I admire what you do. And it sounds great. And you sound great. And yeah, just thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.